Good morning, student. We shall read today glimpses of India. Actually, you cannot count glimpses of India because India is a very colorful country. India is really very great, vast country where there is diversities, and in this diversity you will find unity. India is such a country which cannot be understood by foreigners. Only Indian knows India. And that's why this lesson is divided into three parts. The first glimpse of India is written by this writer, and that is a baker from Goa. This part is written by this writer. Baker from, just a minute. This portion, actually this lesson is divided, I have said to you that this lesson is divided into three units. First unit is a baker from Goa. First unit is a baker from Goa. Second is Kurg, and third is tea from Assam. These are the three units of this lesson. Today we shall see a baker from Goa. See here, nowadays, except big cities like Mumbai, bread and loaf play very vital role in day-to-day life of these people who are living in metro cities. Everything, especially about eating, these people living in great big cities depends on loaves. And if you want to understand this, look at the life of people in Mumbai, how they go on eating that what they put one patata vada and two slices like this, and they go on eating while walking and running to catch the train. They eat it. I don't know what it is called, as we do not eat it, but they loaf, all the loaves play very important role regarding the food of people living in metro city. Here we have to see the bakers from Goa. Their life, their important role played by bakers in the life of people living in Goa. Shall I start, boys? See here. You know bakers, you know bread, you know loaf, you know slices of bread, you know bread pocket. And see here, the life of a baker from Goa. Shall I start? If you see come across any new word to you, please ask me at the end of that passage. Our bread. Nowadays, people remember the past about Portuguese and their trade about, we remember, or people remember Portuguese who were not there. They might have migrated somewhere else, and their breads or their loaves. The Portuguese and the famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there in Goa. We still have among us, the makers are still there. We still have among us the mixtures, molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. The thunder and the jingle of the traditional bakers' bamboos heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family's profession. These bakers are even today known as padder in Goa. Boys, you read each and every sentence very carefully because the pattern of the question paper needs it. You know every detail of the lesson. Let me read this paragraph again to you. Now it is nostalgic. The first paragraph is nostalgic. Then we see that how the generation is kept alive by the next generation. This is there in this paragraph. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the maker are still there in Goa. We still have among us the mixer, the molder, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. The thud and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding, declaring his arrival in the morning, can be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carry on the profession. These bakers are even today known as padder in Goa. This is the life of baker in the past and the life of baker in the present. The life of Portuguese and the life of Goa plays very important role. Especially baker plays very important role. And now question, what do you know about baker? Throw light on history. Throw light on the history and present of baker in Goa? Try to answer this question. Then the first paragraph will be over. Now second paragraph. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on sailing ground, and then again when he returned after attempting his huge basket. Sorry, let me read again. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his sailing round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling third of bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were brought by some paskin means anybody else, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those braid bangles which we choose carefully. Sometime it was sweet bread of special milk. Now I will read this paragraph again to you. And then I will write two or three questions regarding this passage to which you have to answer. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. Right? Means they used to be their friend. The bakers in Goa used to be writer's friend in their childhood. Second point, baker used to come at least how many times? 2 times a day, twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on sailing ground, first early in the morning when he went for sailing, and then again he returned after emptying his huge basket after sailing, and before sailing and after sailing. These were the entry time of baker. The jingling third of bamboo woke up us from our sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were brought by some paskin or baskin, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we choose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special bake. Now, first question. How many times? How many times the baker would? How many times baker would come? Okay. Second, why were the children? Why were the children attracted by the baker? If you answer the question to these two questions, then your paragraph will be clear. I will read it again so that you understand the answer of this question. Be careful, especially each and every sentence you should know it. During our childhood in Goa, the bakers used to be our friend, companion and guide. These bakers were writer's friend, companion and guide. The baker used to come at least twice a day. One when he set out in the evening, when he set out in the morning on his sailing round, and then when he returned after emptying his used basket. And the jangling tug of bamboo woke up from sleep and we ran to greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of love? Was not at all. The loaves were brought by some basking, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles, underline this sentence, which we choose carefully. Sometimes it was a sweet bread of special milk. In this way, children were attracted by the baker and their loaves. And now I am going to the third paragraph, and of course I would like to ask any of you to read this paragraph to bring my idea home. The baker, last paragraph of this unit, the baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang 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 sound of special made bamboo strong. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. This is his habit when he made his entry. One hand supported the basket on his hand like this, and in second hand there is a bamboo which he banged on the ground. He would greet the lady. See how man was full of etiquettes and manner. As soon as he sees the lady, he greeted them, he wished them. He would greet the lady of the house with, he would greet the lady of the house with ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the particular bamboo. As soon as he saw the ladies, he greeted them, he wished them, and put his basket on the particular bamboo. And as soon as he put that basket on particular bamboo, the children used to gather along with the rider. We kid would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the notes would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and reach into the basket somehow. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves for the elder and bangles for the children. Even we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouth properly. And why should we? We would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. This was the writer's childhood. Here is the entry of the maker, bread maker, and how did he wish the lady as soon as he saw them, and then how did he put the basket on the particular bamboo, and how the children used to gather around it, and how they were taken to task, but they do not give it up. They went to the parapet, they went to the higher wall, and they looked into the basket and a variety of the bread. That was the childhood habit. Now I will read this passage again, then I will ask you question after writing on the blackboard. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo strong. When he came, he used to create sound with the help of his bamboo stalk, like zang, 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 in order to catch the attention of the people living in the colony. And now see the picture. One hand, like the left hand supported the basket on the head. Suppose there is a basket like this, big basket, and the basket was supported by one hand, and the other hand bent the bamboo. Bamboo is there in their hand like this. Just wait. One hand like this, and he used to like this. He used to create the sound, and that's why the women, the ladies used to know that the bakers might have come there. One hand supported the basket on the head, and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. Wicked would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke and the load would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or a parapet and peep into the basket. Somehow, I can still remember the typical fragrance of those loaf for the elders and bagel for the children. Then we did not even care to brush at the morning. They did not brush their teeth and they did not care to brush or wash their mouth properly. Why? Why should we? And why should we? Who would take trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea would wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So this is the first part of glimpses of India. I hope that you might have understood. Let me read this question again. Apart from this question written on the blackboard. What are the elders? What are the elders in Goa nostalgic about? Good question. Is bread baking still popular in Goa? How do you know? What is the baker called? When would the baker come every day? Why did the children run to meet him? This is a good question for 2 marks. And now boys, we should go further about the importance of bread in the life of Goa people. Marriage gifts are meaningless. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the board. Just as a party or a feast loses its charms without bread. Not enough? Can he said to show how important a baker can be for the village. Here, the role of the baker, describe the role of baker in the life of people of Goa, where it plays. The baker of Goa plays very, very critical, very vital, very important role in the life of Goa people. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for village. The lady of the house must prepare sand switches on the occasion of her daughter-in-law's engagement. Cake and bolinghas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Thus, the presence of baker furnace in the village is absolutely essential. Here, I will read the passage again to you, paragraph again to you, and then I will ask you another question. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as board. Just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread, not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cake and bulinha are must for the Christmas as well as other festival. Thus, the presence of baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. Now, the question: why is the presence of the baker furnace important in the life of village? This is the question. Just like this. Why is in the life of villagers? And now last paragraph. The baker usually collected the baker or the bread seller of those days had peculiar dress. Please keep it in mind. Information about dress. MCQ can be asked on this one. The baker or bread seller of those days had peculiar dress known as kabai. It was a single piece, long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pant. Even today, anyone who wears half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like pattern. Let me read this paragraph again to you about the dress. The baker or the bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. Long frock. It is given in the picture also. If you see the picture, I think this is called kabai. It is up to here below the knees. So, it was single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length one and longer than half pant. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like pattern. The baker usually collected his bill. This is another information about the bakers when he collect his money, his money after selling the breads. The baker usually collected his bill at the end of the month. Mind it well, underline it. MCQ can be when the baker used to collect his bill that morning, evening, at noon, or none of these. So you have to select the right answer. So what is the right answer? At the end of the month, he used to collect the bill. Monthly account, again second information, used to be recorded on the wall in the pencil. Just like this. The record was maintained on the wall in pencil. Keep it in your mind. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. His family and his servant always looked happy and prosperous. Their plum physique was open testimony certificate to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. In this way, we have finished this first unit of Glimpses of India, Bakers from Goa, and try to write down the answer of these all questions from your textbook as a part of PH. Thank you. I hope that you might have understood it